Everybody out there in podcast land. I am Mixlom. You got the Miles Revolution. And this is Two Freaks Doing a Show. How's it going today, Miles?
It's going wonderful. I'm really excited about tonight with a guest that we're going to have on. Just for your information, Steve Goodtime, he just sent a message, says he's at a gig that's going late. So we'll have to get him another time. And that happens with performers. So, of course.
Yeah, we get all these performers. They got gigs. They got stuff going on in life. And unfortunately, sometimes we get pushed to the back burner.
Yeah, that's okay.
It's okay.
We'll get him another time.
Yeah, one day we'll be famous enough to push people back to the back burner.
That's right.
But yeah, we're going to be able to have Steve again, hopefully. I mean, I hope so.
Yeah, so do I. This week was kind of an interesting week for America's Got Talent. It was a little more like a traditional show that I was kind of used to, even though some of the acts. I'm glad that they did some of the removing of people or Xing them this time, so we could actually get back to the reality portion of America's Got Talent, where not everybody has got any talent that they should be showing on that show.
Yeah. So what was your overall impression of this episode?
Well, there was a few acts. My overall impression, I guess, was it was a pretty good show. There were a few ones like the comedian. I thought she was actually superb, and we'll be talking about her in a little bit later. I'm not sure why they had the singing gram on there, or the happy birthday. I didn't put that in the slideshow today.
What do you think about? I wasn't that into this show. To me, this was the weakest episode.
Oh yeah,
just entertainment wise. But I do agree with you. I like seeing things where some people make it and some people don't. I don't like seeing everybody go through. So right. I do like that. It could have been a little more on the entertainment side for me. But here's what I don't like. So I want to hear what you think about this.
Okay, I'm ready.
What do you think about their little skit / commercial things? Like this, what was it? What were they doing? Like a Kia car commercial or something? I don't know. It was like right at the beginning of the show when they do their little skit things. You know what I'm talking about? And they're like an advertisement for something, except they kind of make it seem like you're actually watching the show, but really you're just watching a commercial with the judges in it.
Right. That's usually the part where I go and make sure that I have something to drink or get my snack or something, because it really isn't interesting to me. It doesn't. I don't know if it's a space filler or what it is. Maybe so they can show people that they're living the life.
Yeah, I was. I was gonna fast forward that part because I just hate them. And then my wife's like, "Don't fast forward it. I love this." And I was like, "Somebody likes this. Somebody likes these commercials. These like product placement commercials right here." Well, so that was surprising.
Well, they're probably getting some money or some sort of kickback, I'm sure. So
yeah, I'm sure people pay a lot to have those commercials made.
Yep. Same with Sonic. I don't remember if Sonic is. I don't think I've seen a Sonic commercial this year.
Oh yeah, that's right. They used to do those Sonic ones.
Yeah.
I can't even remember what the commercial was for. I'm guessing it was a car, but I can't remember. That's how much I pay attention to.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen them before where they're riding around in one of Simon's cars.
Yeah.
That he probably never drives, because I guess he has a car collection like Jay Leno has. But the difference between him, Simon, and Jay Leno, and I don't think Simon's a mechanic.
Yeah. Do you think that this show was, or where do you rank it so far in the episodes? Like first, second, third, fourth? Like, what do you think?
Well, let me see here. With some of the acts. Well, half of the acts I would have tossed. So let's put it at a number on a scale of 1 to 10. I'm going to give it a 6. Maybe we should start some sort of a rating system. And
yeah, that's what we should. Yeah, we should start rating these episodes so we can go back and see. I think 6 is probably fair for this.
Yeah.
I only had, like, I'm looking at my notes. I think I only had 2 acts that I would definitely put through this episode. There was a couple that were borderline for me, but there were only 2 that I was like, yeah, like I'm definitely into this.
Yeah, a couple of them I thought were extremely good. Several of them, they were just acts. Space Pillars on the America's Got Talent show.
Well, let's. We didn't say who's going to be on. We didn't say Steve Goodtime's not going to be on, but we didn't say who is going to be on.
Oh yeah, who's going to be on?
Yeah,
now
we have good news too.
Right now, they weren't too clear on this guy's name on the show, but it's the alien guy. You know, the hot dog guy who had the mask, who did the act. So he's going to be on our show here a little bit later. And he said he's pretty excited to be on here, so we're excited to have him.
Yeah, so if you liked Alien Hot Dog Guy and you remember him, he's going to be with us tonight. If you got questions, let us know. And as always, if you're listening to us and you agree or disagree and you'd like to say something, you can always put it in the chat. And if you want, maybe we'll even bring you on live and you can say something about an act you like. We're on Twitch, we're on Twitter, we're on Facebook, and we are on YouTube. And we have a new Two Freaks Doing a Show AGT Facebook group. If you specifically like to talk about AGT stuff, go ahead and join that Facebook group, as well as any Miles Revolution stuff. But this Facebook group is just going to be specific to AGT. And Miles Revolution pages will all be Miles Revolution stuff in general. So with that, let's go ahead and start recapping the show.
Okay, well,
we got Alien Dude in about 30 minutes, about a half hour. So if you're waiting for him, just hang on. He's coming.
All right, so here we go. We got, wait a minute, I think I skipped a slide there. Invertebrado. Now, I thought this act was a really good act. And I thought it was great that they opened up with this. Some unknown guy who doesn't really have any social media presence out of, I don't even remember where he's from. Africa, Chile, someplace. I don't remember. But I liked it. It was kind of grotesque. And climbing the pole, I've never seen any contortionist do that before. And so I thought that was pretty impressive.
Yeah, it was an interesting mix between pole dancing and the contortionist thing. I've never seen that. The one thing I've thought, and I haven't just thought about it with this act, but multiple acts now this year and last season, is when did pole dancing become popular? I mean, pole dancing's always been a stripper thing for sure.
Right.
But it seems like on AGT in the past 4 or 5 seasons, like pole dancing has really just become into like the mainstream. And now people are doing like more stuff with pole dancing, like this contortionist person here.
Right.
And I think it's pretty cool. And so since pole dancing hasn't just been a mainstream kind of dance that's just been on TV, at least that I've seen, maybe I'm wrong, but I think pole dancing is really impressive to us because we aren't used to seeing it in this form. And contortionists are just cool anyway. Some people think they're gross. I think they're cool. So when you combine the two, I liked it. With that said, would I put him through? Maybe. I'm not 100% on it, but I'm not mad he went through, but it's just not a 100% thing. I mean, I'm not saying definitely, but it was an interesting gimmick, cool gimmick. If he wouldn't have had the whole zombie gimmick, I don't think I would have put him through. So I think the gimmick helped.
Yeah, I believe so. I don't think he'll be in the top 10. He has a pretty good chance, I think, making it into the first cut. I'm not sure how much chance he has, but it seemed like all the judges were really liking it.
Yeah.
And, Heidi, I don't know if you caught her little comment there in the beginning. She says, "Well, I think I peed myself a little bit when he jumped up."
Yeah.
So, I mean, so they did a pretty good job on that show and on surprising the judges, so we say.
Yeah, so it was all right.
Yeah, but I don't have a whole much more to say for this guy. Like I say, I think it was impressive and grotesque, which is why I guess what contortionists do. They make people sick, and they get to see more.
Yeah.
So we'll move on. Freedom Singers. I don't know about this group. I just, when I put down here that they were on the Kelly Clarkson show, and they were also at the White House. Now, the reason they were at the White House wasn't because they were invited. I think it might have been some sort of a peaceful protest. I'm not really sure. I didn't go and watch the video, but I did see that they were at the White House, but they were out in the street someplace and doing whatever they're doing. And I guess they had to, if I remember right, they had to stop singing or something.
Yeah, so they were probably there protesting.
Yeah, I'm going to guess.
Yeah, I wrote down on my notes because I already kind of forgot about these people. I was like, oh, these are the Skid Row people.
Yeah.
These are the people that were singing. Yeah,
Right.
I just wrote, nice story, but nah.
Well, except for the leader. I don't think the leader's a Skid Row person.
It's just, I don't know. It's so hard for groups for me when it comes to singing. Because I feel like so many people can sing in a group. And again, if I try to close my eyes and listen to these things, and I go, how many groups can sound like this? Ton, probably.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you can find this in any town in America. And really what they have is a story, and the story is what you're selling.
And that's why they got them.
And I'm just not sold by the story. And so I wouldn't put them through.
No, not this choir. They aren't as good as the Detroit choir was. The Detroit choir was a great show choir. This one was, it's just a story choir. That's nice that you're doing such a thing to help people out. That's really nice of you, but I don't think it's an AGT act.
Yeah, I'm just looking over at the chat. Detroit basketball there saying no chance, and Danger Zone saying they didn't like it on the YouTube chat right now. So, yeah, we don't seem to be the only ones, but they went through, right?
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, they went through. But I don't think they're going to go very far.
Yeah, me neither. All right. Warrior Squad. I mean, I guess that was cool what they did. Impressive, and maybe this is one of those you had to be there to see it. But it wasn't $1 million act to me. It wasn't one. Oh my goodness, they were the best group, whatever you call them. I don't even know what you call them. Acrobats,
dancers,
circus performers.
Yeah, circus performers probably.
And even though there are no more circuses, so maybe that's why they have all these acts on there, is because there's no more circuses.
Yeah, and the circuses they do have are pretty cheap. They're the ones that come to town and they're $10, so it's not. I don't think you make any money in them.
Yeah,
these guys. It was another act. This kind of summed up the whole show for me. Actually, this act is every act was impressive, but not for me. I mean, it's definitely impressive. It definitely takes skill. It's cool. The guys are definitely strong, and they have all these different ages of people. And yeah, I'm not mad at them. Like, congratulations, you guys did your thing, but I just don't care. Like, it's just not my thing to go through.
And just as a note there, I put there in the bottom, they were on India's Got Talent before they were on America's Got Talent. So
yeah, they're probably another invited guest.
Yeah, I'm gonna guess. So they're on the part of the the Got Talent tour, as it were. And I don't know about any of those other acts. The first one, the El Invertebrado, he had very little social media presence anywhere. So, but this group, nobody knows them either. They were hard to find otherwise. So if it wasn't AGT, if it wasn't for America's Got Talent, they would have still been unknown, I think. So.
Seems like a lot of the people here are a little unknown compared to past episodes. Some of these people had a lot of following. This episode seems like the people don't have the huge followings that we've had so far this season.
A few of them do, but so far nobody. This person, Danny Kerr, whatever she said it with a twang or something. She apparently has been on The Voice. And I've noticed that The Voice and America's Got Talent seem to share people. And it looks like Kelly Clarkson's show and America's Got Talent shares things too.
Is The Voice NBC? Must be if they share it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, they probably, because they're the same network, must share people.
Yeah. And I think Kelly Clarkson, she may still be under a Simon contract, as far as I know. But could be that Simon owns her.
She was a good singer.
Yeah, she's actually a really good singer. But
yeah, she sounded a lot like Miley Cyrus to me. She had kind of a Miley Cyrus sound. Her song was okay, but again, like most of these singers, I mean, I wouldn't put her through again. Good, impressive, but I'm looking for $1 million act, or I'm looking for something I'm going to pay to see. This isn't what I'm paying.
No, this isn't $1 million act to me.
No.
She'd had a really, shall we say, unique voice, which is probably what's got her as far as she's gotten anyway.
Yeah, I mean, it's just kind of, it's kind of is what it is. She has a good voice. The song's kind of, and yeah, I mean, if you put her in the right band, she'll do great.
Right. I did notice as I was going through her social media, she was one of the few artists that I noticed that is promoting her own merch. So, which is impressive. So, in other words, she's making an effort to, enhance her career, get someplace. And I believe that people who are persistent like her, they're going to get someplace in this world just because they're persistent, not because they're the best singer, not because of the best guitarist or best songwriter. I mean, let's take Mick Jagger. I think he's got to be one of the worst singers and vocalists on the earth, and the songs have no lyrical meaning. So, but still, he made it big.
Shots fired at Rolling Stones. Those are fighting words.
Yeah,
I'm not a huge Rolling Stone fan, but Mick Jagger has a good voice, especially a good rock voice.
He has a weird voice. I actually thought about doing trying to do a comedy skit, and he was going to be part of my skit, but I never did it because I just chickened out on it. So
yeah.
Any case, but I think she has a potential to go someplace. I'm not sure how big of a star she's going to be, but once again, like you said, she's not $1 million act. So
no, and I'm sure she's going to get some more followers on her social media.
Oh yeah, yep.
So this is a good advertisement for her. But she went through too, right?
She's what?
She went through too, right?
Yeah, she did. She did.
So she's definitely going to get more followers.
Right. I'm not sure if she's going to make it through the cuts, but
yeah. Again, she's just like most of them for me. I'm fine with her going through. I'm not mad with her getting through. I just wouldn't have done it.
Yeah, I'm just sending a message here to our guest here. Make sure that he's still in line to come on. So we'll come back to him. I do not get this act. What? Not even worth my time. Oh my goodness. Not even worth commenting on.
Sweat. Yeah, this guy. I'm not sure because I like the ridiculous. I really do. I have a ridiculous kind of sense of humor. I love the name. I'm not even sure I like the look. It's kind of a weird, creepy look. Something I would usually be into, but I didn't like the personality. And then I'm not sure what was the comedy. I'm not. Were the hands supposed to be what was funny? Because because the judges pointed out, oh, he has no fingers or something, or his hands are weird. I don't remember. So I think that was the joke, but I'm not sure. I think like the joke had to be pointed out to us because he was just picking up stuff, and that was what was funny. I don't understand what we were doing.
Well, I wasn't laughing.
Yeah, I wasn't laughing. I wasn't even smart. I was confused.
Get this guy off there.
Yeah.
This guy, as far as social media goes, I think he's been under different names. And the only thing that I saw him in connection with was drag queens. And so I don't know if this is a new name or if has multiple personalities or something.
Is that what the parentheses are on? Like the TikTok and the YouTube there?
Well, that's why I put other name, O-N.
Oh, other name. Yeah.
So I'm not sure if those are him or if it's somebody else.
So we're thinking he's a drag queen?
Well, that's who he seems to be related to.
Oh.
If so, other acts. But once again, he's not here. I invite everybody that I can to be on here. And so if he could come on and explain this to me, I'd like to.
Sweaty Eddie, if you're watching, come on and defend yourself.
Yeah.
Number one, tell us why you're funny. Number two, or just explain the joke.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll think it's funny after you explain it to us. We'll be nice if you come on.
Yeah.
We accept everybody personally. Even if we don't love your act, we still love you.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's a nice fine language.
And again, for everybody that's watching, go ahead and drop us a comment. Tell us what you think if you've been watching the show. And we'll maybe read some of your comments online. We got comments from Megan and Teresa and Detroit and Danger and all of them. So join in the chat wherever you're watching, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, wherever.
That's
all right. Who do we got next? Oh, Steve, Goodtime. This is who was supposed to be on with us today.
Yep. But he apologized once again, sent a message just before our show started, saying the following, I'm so sorry I won't be able to do the show tonight. I didn't realize the time difference and I've got a show running late. So I'm not sure where he's located.
Yeah. Probably the East Coast, I'm guessing, if he's at a show.
Yeah, it could be. Not a whole lot of online presence. It almost looks like he just created his YouTube channel just for just the beginning. It looks like Instagram is where his thing is at this point in time. Kind of an odd act, though. And I would really like to talk to him about his act.
Yeah, I had some questions for him too. I didn't hate this act. In fact, I kind of liked it. It was definitely talent. Yeah. And it was a lot of mix of a lot of cool stuff. It was, but it was a weird mixture of stuff. Because I love the guitar. I'm a big guitar fan. Playing the guitar while balancing on things is kind of cool, but kind of weird too.
Yep.
So I don't know. I feel like it wasn't good enough to go through to me, but it was good enough to be shown on TV. And I feel like this act has potential. I feel like Steve Goodtime has a lot of potential that's not realized. And I don't know what he would do differently, but I feel like he has enough talent to do something continually unique, but really cool. I think he could potentially go through with just a little better act. I think he can do it.
Yeah. Now, it seems like he might be a juggler, has probably done clown stuff in the past. You know, the kind of guy that you might go to the park and he's juggling bowling pins or something.
Yeah.
But I once again, I hope we can get him on the show so we can grill him a little bit more to see where he's headed. Now, he could be someone that, and I wouldn't put it past the judges to for him to be a wild card.
Yeah.
After the cuts. So, you never know. He's kind of unique enough to be that way. As long as he's got something else to offer beyond what he showed there in that show.
Yeah, I'm sure he has stuff to offer. It wouldn't surprise me if he could do something cool like juggle mini guitars or something. Juggle some guitars, then some of them fall and he catches one and plays it, or I don't know. But something really unique like that, I can see him pulling off. I say he's got enough talent that I think he could come up with. I think he could come up with something.
Yep. Now I think I don't know why, but I'm wondering if he is also a official Kramer artist as far as his guitar goes. Oh. And that's what I'd like to ask him too. So if he watches this show, you know what questions we're going to ask.
Yeah, we're going to ask you all these questions. So you've got the inside scoop.
That's right.
I'm looking at the chat over here on the YouTube chat. Detroit says, it was good. I agree with the wild card, Miles.
Oh, well,
So,
thanks.
nice
Somebody else
take,
agrees
Miles.
with me. Yay!
Yeah, somebody agrees with you.
It doesn't really happen too often in my life.
No, I don't think it's happened on this show yet. There we go. First time.
Well, one thing about this show is I noticed that they had more acts than they normally have in this past episode. So they were like cranking them out.
Yeah. I almost felt like this was an episode where it was like the last audition show or something. They're like, let's just like rapid fire throw out a bunch of acts that didn't make it,
right,
and just get them on TV and have one of those episodes. So that's what it felt. That's what it felt like to me. I think maybe that's why it wasn't as good as the other episodes for me, because it just kind of felt like the filler episode.
Well, we got a bunch coming, so hopefully the rest of them aren't like filler episodes. Otherwise, we're gonna have to find a new show.
Yeah.
But nevertheless, I think there were a few decent acts on here tonight or this past week. This girl, now you talked about the dancer from the first episode this season, that anybody could do it. Now this girl I thought was pretty unique. She was cute, could do some moves, and so I see why she has her following on Instagram of 204,000 followers. There's a reason for that. But she has none on Facebook, and that's because her parents. She's a minor. She's only what, 6?
7.
7. Is that what it is? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just not sure where she would take this act.
Yeah, she.
I mean, what's she gonna do? Dance on a pole?
Yeah. I mean, I liked it. Again, would I put it through? No. There's another one I wouldn't put through, but I liked it. The girl's definitely talented. And she kind of dances like me. She's just kind of like, yeah. And that's kind of the way I dance. And so if you liked her, you'll probably like the way I dance. If you didn't, you'd probably hate the way I dance.
But what's her future though?
Yeah. I don't know what you do with her. That's why I wouldn't put her through. She's not good enough at this age where I just want to watch her. And I don't know that, I don't know that she would be in a dance group necessarily at this age, maybe in a couple years. So there's not a lot. It's just like the kid singers that we've had this season. A couple of them remind me they could be in Disney movies or kind of voices of characters. You don't have that same thing with these dancers. Maybe a music video or something. Maybe someone that needs a young kid to dance in a music video. But I don't know.
That's a good one. I'd take her in a music video of mine if she was willing to dance in it. So
so if she wants to be in a Miles Revolution video, and somebody that knows her is watching, we can do. I'm sure we can work that out somehow.
Yeah. but not $1 million act.
Not $1 million act.
I can't see this in a Vegas show.
No.
I wouldn't pay. I wouldn't pay to see it. I would now. America's Got Talent. I've been there, and some of those acts are pretty cool to see on stage and everything. But once again, what would you do for the next one? I just see no future in that.
Yeah.
With a vocalist, of course, they just choose a new song. But I mean, usually most of the dancers use all their moves in one show. So, what do you do?
Yeah, there you go. All right, what do we got next?
Well, we got next this one. They didn't announce the name. Luckily, I found it. It looks like the Sadek Waff. I think he's French. So he's the guy who was sick and couldn't come. And he's the guy that has all the views on Instagram with 368,000 followers. TikTok, 498,000 followers.
Woo!
So obviously the guy who made the group is pretty famous. And he's also associated with Shakira somehow on multiple videos. So, he's been around. So I'm not sure what the point is of bringing this group on. It was actually pretty cool to watch. Like that other synchronized, I don't remember, were they Japanese or whatever, that the girls who did their I don't know if you call it dance, but their little formation stuff.
Sure.
Shows. I can't remember the name of the group.
I don't remember either.
Yeah. But see, they were on I think about the same level as that one.
Yeah.
So if I was to imagine where I would see them, perhaps, I guess it's kind of a unique thing. I could see in a Las Vegas show, but I wouldn't pay to go see them specifically.
Yeah. This was hard for me because this seems like a act I would really, really like because it was unique. I thought it was really cool. And it's generally kind of the exact kind of AGT thing I like. With that said, there was just something about it that was a little boring to me. I mean, it was cool, and I love the choreography and everything, but yeah, was it something I want to pay to see? No. And I'm not exactly sure why. I don't know. Maybe it was just boring, but I don't know. There's something about it that fell flat to me, and I wouldn't have put it through.
Well, I think this Sadek Waff, the sick guy, I think he's a dancer. And this is probably just one of his many acts. So I didn't know what to call him other than a sync group or something. I don't know. Like synchronized swimming. This is synchronized arm movement.
Dancing.
But I don't know. Not something that I would, not pay to see. But, he's obviously got a following. So
yeah, you got a following.
Keep
Too
it
bad
up.
they didn't have the guy with him, but
Yeah.
maybe it would have changed their minds, but
Maybe. All right. This guy, oh my goodness. Does he do this for a living?
I don't know. That's what I was thinking. I was wondering because I like stand-up comedy a lot.
Right.
I really like stand-up comedy. I watch a lot of it. And I felt bad for this guy, actually. I asked my wife, I said, you feel bad when people are booing? And she's like, I don't know, only for some people. And I was like, I feel bad for this guy because he didn't seem like a joke, like he was coming on as a joke. It seemed like he had an actual act, and he seemed like hurt by, again, like kind of the booing and kind of almost surprised by like how strong the reaction was. Because I think this is an act he does. And again, it was kind of like the Sweaty Eddie guy in the fact of I wasn't sure what the joke was. is the joke, does he play like a dumb surfer kind of burnout guy that doesn't make any sense, and that's what we're laughing at because it's not supposed to make sense? Or is he making these deep punchlines that we're just not getting? I'm not sure. I'm not sure what the joke was.
Well, did he get into his act or did he not? I don't know where his introduction started and his routine started.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if his introduction was part of his act. I don't know. So yeah, that's what was kind of hard with this, is that I'm not really sure. Yeah, I'm not really sure anything about it.
Well, I didn't go and watch any of his Instagram reels because, with 34,000 followers, he has to have something that's appealing, and maybe he just was having a bad night, and that can happen. Performers do have bad shows that just don't go well, and maybe this was one of them for him. So
Miles, let's do the next one because we got another comedian, and then it looks like we have our guest that's on deck with us. So let's do this next comedian, and then we'll bring him on. All right. On
here. Maureen Langan. I thought she was hilarious. She obviously does this for a living. She's very good with her delivery. My thought was, I told my wife as we were listening to this, I thought, well, this is probably the cleanest show she does. Maybe I'm wrong. But, it was kind of on the edge for some of her jokes, but I thought it was hilarious. Never the same.
Yeah, she probably doesn't do family shows for a living.
Yeah, I'm guessing not.
And yeah, I say I watched these shows with my wife. My wife laughed some at this, and I don't know if it was more female humor. And as a guy, I just didn't get it. But I didn't laugh once. I didn't think she was very funny. Again,
really?
Don't be offended, anybody. I always say I like you even if I don't like your act. I don't know. Seemed like a cool lady, cool person, but I didn't laugh once at it. Maybe just her subject matter just wasn't relatable to me.
Well,
I don't know.
I guess to you.
Yeah, maybe to me.
Yeah. It was obviously very relatable to me. Now, One thing that I noticed about her and all the social media, she is riding this AGT boat as fast as she can and putting it everywhere. So she's obviously one of the few people that's taking advantage of the publicity that she's got. More so than other people, I think, as far as social media goes. So touche to her for that.
Yeah, good for her.
All right, so we want to bring on our guest.
Let's bring on our guest.
All right.
What we got?
Here we come. All right. Are you there?
Hey. Yes, I'm here. I can hear you.
Awesome.
Right.
Well, now, my first question is how do you say this? Is it Poose?
Posse?
It's Poose.
Poose.
Poose the
both
puppy.
wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Now, where did you get that from?
It's from the word purpose, short for, and I say purpose.
Oh, hey, that's pretty clever.
Mm-hmm.
Good job.
Yeah.
We're not smart enough to get it. So I'm Mixalom. He's the Miles Revolution, and this is our show. So we go through it and we just talk about the AGT shows. Miles has a Facebook page that's semi-popular, 5,000 followers or subscribers or so. And so we're both AGT fans, so we thought we'd start this and kind of see where we go with it. So we appreciate you coming on with us.
Of course, glad to be part of it.
And I'm just gonna call you Alien Hot Dog Guy because that's what I've been calling.
That's fine.
Yeah, I'm just comfortable with it now.
Now, do you have
that's perfect.
Do you have multiple channels or pseudonyms or something? Because you said you're going to come on as Benjamin.
Yes. Yeah. So the Alien Hot Dog thing, AGT developed that. It really wasn't something that I normally do, but they were like, that's how you're going to get on the show. And I was like, okay. So my normal show is nothing like that.
That was going to be a question I was going to ask you. Was this an AGT orchestrated act? because it seemed
It was.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking that you're probably a little bit better artist than what was portrayed on that show. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, it was an interesting opportunity and I thought it would be fun, but that's what so that happened to be one of my costumes that I wear in my show, and they latched onto that. And they were like, yeah, you're an alien. Well, Poose, the message of Poose is to help people find their purpose. And they were like, oh, you're an alien motivational speaker. And then it turned into what you saw on the show. So,
yeah.
So how did they find, did they find you or did you find them? Because I was thinking, this can't be, and so correct me if I'm wrong, because I'll be surprised if this is the case. But this doesn't seem the case that you just stood in line with thousands of people in an arena and did this act, and then they just kept putting you through, and somehow you got in front of judges.
No.
It seemed like you were
No, they picked. Yeah, I was picked, and then I was a wild card. I knew what I was in for. I was like, I'm not going to make it. I'm just going to go and have fun. So that was what happened.
Where did they pick you, or where did they find you, or do they call you?
They comb the internet for developing artists, and a producer found me actually in 2019 and was talking to me then, but then the pandemic happened, and then got back in touch with me last year, and then it turned into where I am now.
Okay. So do you think you're going to be going back or auditioning again?
Hey, if they ask me to come back and do something else or continue with this character, I probably will, because I had a lot of fun and they were really nice. And also my expectations were really low, so I just had fun with it.
Well, you had the right attitude, that's for sure. You've gotten farther than I've gotten. I mean, I've tried to be on the show, and well, look at you. You got on there, so.
Right. They said they chose like 200 people. And out of 20,000, and I was one of those 200, and I didn't even think they were going to show what they filmed, but they put me on, so I was like, cool.
Yeah. Well,
so awesome. What do you normally do for shows, and what kind of places do you perform? Do you perform just in small clubs, or do you do stand-up comedy, or what do you do?
Well, no, my show has been in clubs. It's been at music festivals. It's been at fringe festivals. What I do is a psychedelic, therapeutic, interactive puppet experience.
Okay. Well, you look like someone that would do that. I can totally see the psychedelic experience right there.
So,
yeah.
Are you a ventriloquist then?
No, not at all. Nope. Yeah, so that's what they came up with. Normally, I perform to pre-recorded voices. I wear a mask, and then we do audience participation. If you look at my Instagram, you'll see great videos of what I do, and people's reactions. People are really usually very taken by surprise about how immersive the show is and interactive. So it's not just a simple puppet show.
Do you find that since you've been on the show, do people recognize you or find you, or not really, since you're in a mask and everything? Have you found your popularity has changed at all since the show?
Slightly. I got some people reaching out. It got my name out there. I think the best thing for me is that it's a nice notch in the belt, and I can put it on my resume, so that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I got to meet some other really nice people.
Well, I think if you have an in with America's Got Talent, I don't see why they wouldn't bring you back. I mean, they brought back Cedric, who I'm absolutely sick of, but.
Right. Yeah. So maybe they will. I think I did. I mean, I did okay. It's not my best work, obviously, but that's what we came up with. And I was like, okay, if this is what you want to do, then I'm going to make the best of it.
Yeah.
So when they invite you on, do they present first you and say, this is what we want you to do? Or did you present first and go, I want to do this? And they go, no, we want you to do the alien.
Right. So what they focused on was my message, and it's very positive, therapeutic. I incorporate breath work and mindfulness meditation into my show, and the producer that found me loved the message. So she was focusing on Poose's message of positivity. But when I started doing that, I got X'd right away. So they didn't even hear the message, unfortunately.
Were you surprised when they started Xing you?
No.
What does it feel like? Because we were kind of talking about this earlier in the show with some people. When you go up there, is it something when you get X and you're like, here we go, this is what I expected? Or is it hurtful when people start booing? Or are you just like, I don't know,
No.
I don't really care, I'm just here? Like, is it part of the fun?
No.
What does it feel like?
It was part of the fun because I didn't show my face, so it wasn't me getting booed, it was the character. So that helped me. I am pretty sensitive, but it actually wasn't that bad. I actually had fun with it. So,
Okay.
And then they wanted me to curse Simon, and I was like, perfect, I will totally curse Simon.
Yeah, that part was good.
They came up with that like right before I walked on stage. So I was like, okay.
Well,
so right when you came on and you were doing your act, I was actually surprised it was you, because I was like, I bet this alien's going to take off his mask and it's going to be somebody famous. This seems like one of those setup things where this is going to be somebody we know. And the judges are
right,
go,
yeah.
oh, this person. That's what I was
right.
Yeah.
So what's your background?
Right, but it was just me.
It was just you. That was the twist, I guess.
So are you like a drama guy?
My background?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I've always done like acting and theater, but actually for the longest time I was just like a business guy. And then the pandemic hit and I had my puppet show and people seemed to like it. So I was like, well, what am I doing with my life? I'm gonna move to New Orleans where I live and work on my puppet show. So that's where I am now.
So you say you're a business guy. Did you do something? What did you do before that?
Well, my degree is in international business and I speak Spanish. And then I worked in a trucking company for like 8 years.
Okay.
After college. So I was like I was like basically married and like living in an apartment. And then during the pandemic, everything changed in a positive way. So.
Oh, really? I would expect you to say the pandemic had killed your career.
No, it helped.
Wow. Well, that's a good to hear. I didn't really hear that from many people. So, do you play any instruments or anything? Do you do music?
I make all my music I make all the music. I do the soundtrack. I make it all on my computer.
Okay.
Yeah, electronic. I do electronic experimental bass music with my show.
All right.
Yeah, and I love going to music festivals, so maybe I'll run into you. I love.
Yeah, that's my plan. That's my plan, actually. So my vision is to have an interactive puppet show on a main stage at an EDM festival.
Yeah, that would be very cool. Be very cool. So what part?
So did y'all? Oh, I was gonna say, did you see any of the? Definitely watch the videos that I have. The show is, I think you're gonna be surprised about it. It's actually pretty weird and cool, and interesting. So check out the page if you can.
Yeah,
the videos.
I'll definitely check it out. I haven't checked it out yet, but I will for sure.
Okay.
What areas do you usually perform in? Is there a certain part of the country? Or are you kind of all over, or where are you?
Well, I just went on tour, so New Orleans. I usually go to Georgia, North Carolina, Kentucky, Tennessee, but I've been all over the world. I've been to Europe and to Mexico, so I've been all around.
So where's the best? You have any shows or anything coming up?
Yes, actually, I'm going on tour with my mentor, Toy Box Theater, and we're going on tour together. If you look up Toy Box Theater, he is very well known in puppetry, and he talks to Heather Henson, Jim Henson's daughter, on the regular, has won many awards in puppetry, pretty well known. So he's a great mentor. And I've gone on tour with another group called Nightshade, and they're really good as well. So look up Nightshade.
So you said Toy Box?
Toy Box Theater.
Toy Box Theater. Mm-hmm. But that will be in July. I'm touring to Burning Man from New Orleans going on tour to Burning Man in August, excuse me.
Wow. Yeah, Burning Man's on my bucket list.
Yeah, it's on mine too. And I was like, this is the year. I found the right group to go with, so I'm gonna go.
Very cool. Very cool.
You sound like like you have a pretty unique offering for people. Is it mostly? Do you do also like business?
Yeah.
shows? Do you do this stuff for business?
Say that again. It's breaking up a little bit.
Okay. Do you do this with businesses or go to conventions or anything like that?
Not yet, but maybe one day. Yeah, it's an interesting therapeutic experience, and I want to develop that more. Because I feel like a lot of people feel lost and they have anxiety and stuff like that. And the show's based a lot on stuff that I went through, and then the therapy that I did, and the mindfulness practice and breath work and all that stuff. It's very new agey.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's awesome that someone's even offering such an act. You sound, like I said, pretty smart and like you know what you're doing and how to.
Yeah, I was like, AGT, it's not exactly what I do, but I want to have the experience, and it was great. And they were very nice, and I knew what to expect. So it was a free trip to LA, and Simon, lost his voice, so I got to be there for a little bit longer than they told me. So it was great.
All right. So where's the best place online for people to find you? If people want to find out more about you, is it the best to go onto Instagram, or where's the best?
Instagram.
All right.
Yep.
And then for anybody who's watching on YouTube, in the description of this video, whether you're watching live or whether you're going to watch the recorded version of this, like most people do, we're going to put all his links right down at the bottom there so that you can find where to find the puppet here.
That's right.
Thank you.
And you have an open invitation. I always say this to our guests. If you watch AGT and there's ever an episode when you say, hey, I got something to say about this act, and you ever want to come on with us and come on video and make a comment or two about an act or be on a whole show with us while we review all the acts, you're always more than welcome to come by. And if you ever if you're ever in our areas and you're doing a show and you got tickets, we'll always take them.
I would love it if y'all came to a show. Where is your area?
So both of us are actually originally from Portland, Oregon.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Neither of us live there anymore. Now I'm in Idaho, so I'll probably have to travel to somewhere because I'm in the middle of nowhere at the moment. And Miles is in the middle of Illinois.
Okay.
Illinois,
well, I make sure I think I might be coming through Illinois area, so I'll make sure I send you a message about that. I'll let you know the dates on the Toy Box tour. Also, I was going to comment. I heard you guys say that Shadow Ace was your favorite, and he was also my favorite.
Oh, really?
And yes, I got to meet I got to meet him. He's the nicest guy, and I hope he wins because I was like, you're gonna do it for the puppet people, shadow puppets. So
Shadow Ace was so cool. We talked to him last week. He was on with us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he seemed like a totally nice guy.
He's amazing.
I'm totally rooting for that guy.
Me,
I think he has a legit shot at.
Me too. He's extremely talented and he deserves it. Oh my God, he's amazing. And it was great meeting him. And then also Stevie that you're going to talk to. I don't know if he's coming on. He's great too. He was there with his mom and they were really sweet. So, yeah. Honestly, everybody was so nice and it was such a great experience. I don't have anything negative to say. I just, what they gave me was what they gave me. And I was like, okay, well,
Take it, run.
Not my fault, but I mean, this is what you want me to do. I'll do it, I guess.
All right. Well, thanks for being on with us. And really, if you ever want to come back on, we're always more than happy.
Thank you.
We'll promote you. You seem like an awesome guy. I mean, we'll do it.
So do y'all.
I mean, we're just getting started with this show, but hopefully, you never know. Maybe AGT fans will find us, and if they find us, they'll find you. So we'll help.
Perfect. Thank you. I mean, again, it's great. You got to start somewhere. That's what I'm doing. So much luck to all of us.
That's right.
Yeah.
Definitely. All right, my friend.
Your purposes clearly.
Yes, that is true.
So.
All right. Oh, you got a puppet.
Yeah. This is Dizzy. I totally forgot Poose. I just got back from tour and I'm exhausted, so I'm sorry about that. But I was like, I have my puppet. This is Dizzy.
At least we got a Disney side, a Dizzy side.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
All right. Poose the puppet. Excellent,
really nice
my friend, and thanks for coming on with us.
Thank you. Have a great night.
You too.
All right. Goodbye.
All right. Bye.
All right, looks like I have some, it got really light here all of a sudden, and if I got a bunch of sunlight coming through. So I'm trying to block my camera, so if I look kind of weird, it's because I'm blocking all this sunlight that's coming in. My lighting's really weird at the moment, so if I seem to be in a weird position, it's because I'm shadow acing my camera to make a AGT reference.
Except there's no fingers in it.
Yeah, there's no figures. All right, let's with the time that we got left, Miles, let's hit up really quick the rest of these acts here. We got
all right. Let's see here. Where are we? Maureen,
Anna, three left, I think.
Yep. Anna. Looking at the social media, TikTok, 593,000 followers. Her magic wasn't the greatest, but I know why she has followers. She's a good-looking girl. So, if that's part of the entertainment package, then so be it, I guess.
I liked it. I mean, she's definitely a good-looking girl, but that's not all. I mean, this girl's talented. I loved her personality. I loved her act. I loved her magic. I thought it was awesome at the end. Yeah, I was totally into this. This was one of the acts that I thought should actually go through. I wasn't mad at this one at all. At first, I was like, "Oh no, somehow this girl's not going to make it," but she did. I don't know if it was an act at the end when she's like, "Oh, I'm so surprised the trick worked," or if she was genuinely surprised the trick worked. I couldn't really tell.
I hear.
I like it.
Magicians say that all the time.
For her. Yeah, magicians always kind of say this because it adds to the mystique. But I liked her. I thought she was really, really good. She's somebody I would buy a ticket for.
That thing that she did with the card?
I thought she was good. I thought the whole act was good.
Yeah. Well, that fanning thing, I have never seen that before.
No, I've never seen it. It was really unique. It was the card stuff was extremely unique. And yeah, the personality was good. And I thought it was creative. I thought it was extremely creative, the stuff that she was doing. I haven't seen anybody else doing exactly what she's doing. So yeah, I was happy to see her put through.
Well, even though, it wasn't necessarily the most impressive act I see where you're coming from. And I bet she will go past. I can see her making it past the first cuts and not being cut. So
I think she's the best magician we've had so far.
you think?
I'm trying to think who's the other magicians that I like. No offense to a friend of the show, Trig Watson.
Right.
But I really like this girl. I think she was the best. I think she was the best one. I'm trying to think back on the other magicians, but yeah, I'm going with her. I really liked her.
They had the girl Bryn Cummings, the ventriloquist magician.
Oh yeah, her. I really liked her too. Yeah. Yeah, they're both good. Yeah, they're both good. Oh, I forgot to say, because we didn't mention it, but if just to rewind a little bit to who was it? I'm looking at my notes here. The I wrote down weird dance group. The ones they were the synchronized dancing
thing. Yeah.
Did we mention, or am I just forgetting, that they got the golden buzzer?
We didn't mention that.
And I was like, I can't believe they got the golden buzzer. I wasn't even going to put them through it. I don't know what's going on here. And I was surprised because generally they keep the golden buzzer for like the last thing of the show. And so they did the golden buzzer. I was like, oh, this really threw me for a loop. And I wasn't emotionally ready to handle like such a bad decision right then.
Well, it wasn't a golden buzzer moment.
No, not a golden buzzer. But anyway, we can move on. I just wanted to express my displeasure for that.
All right. In any case, she has a good chance.
She has a good chance.
Ninah Sampaio. They did both of these Rubik's Cube acts, and I thought it was interesting that they used the same object, but they did something completely different with using the Rubik's Cube as a accessory, I guess, to their act.
Yeah.
This girl obviously has got some sort of following. TikTok, 589,000 followers. So I think she might be like that girl who sings while she cooks. Kind of followers. I don't know if you've seen those before.
I've never seen it, but it sounds like something that would be on TikTok or Instagram.
Yeah. And so I can see the fame there, and these are probably all short videos where she's singing while she mops the floor or polishes her car or puts her makeup on or that kind of stuff. Yeah,
that's a good point. I didn't think about it till you said it, but this is kind of what Shadow Ace was saying too when he was on, and this is what's popular. I'm just a bit old. I'm not as old as you, granted, but now what's popular are these TikToks and these reels on Facebook and YouTube of things that are about 30 seconds long.
Right.
30 to 60 seconds kind of max. To where you do a shadow puppet thing with some music and people go, haha, and then they go to the next thing. So I can see her doing a Rubik's Cube singing on TikTok and everybody's like, ha, and then they kind of go to the next thing. And you can have 1,000 of those videos and people will kind of like go, ha ha, every time.
Right.
And subscribe to you. Is it something that I would pay to see? No, but it was cool. Again, talented. I like it. All right. She was an average singer. She wasn't like spectacular.
No.
You put together the cubes, which is cool. I don't know what you do with it. I don't really like to watch it, but put together, I wouldn't put you through. But yeah, she probably is somebody that would have a good social media following. Yeah. I can see 14-year-old 8th grade kids loving this girl and 1 million of them following her on TikTok.
Now that you mentioned that with the short video nature of TikTok, I personally wonder how many of these famous TikTok people will actually go on through or make it through the cuts. The only one at this point who had that high TikTok count that I see going through is Shadow Ace.
Yeah, and Shadow Ace even talked about when, If you missed our Shadow Ace interview, you can go on the Miles Revolution YouTube page and just search it. Just search Miles Revolution. Look on videos. Search Shadow Aces or Two Freaks Doing a Show. Whatever, you'll find us. We have the whole show, but we also have that interview cut out that you can find. But he mentioned that usually he does these short form videos, and so he was trying to think, when I go on America's Got Talent, how do I have something that's a little longer than my normal thing? And so I think that's the challenge of these TikTokers.
Yep.
But I wouldn't put her through.
Yeah, she wasn't that special to me. I mean, another cute girl, but whatever. This guy, Thomas Vu, did something different with the Rubik's Cube. So he solved it while he was on fire. And when I first saw him after he went off the stage and came back, and how that, whatever it was, must be fire retardant on his face.
Yeah.
I thought it was a plastic bag, and so he was supposed
That's what I thought.
Do it until he faints or something.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I'm like, he's going to do this, and if he doesn't get it in time, he's going to pass out, kind of like a magic act when they're submerged underwater doing something.
So I almost wish that he would have had a plastic bag on. I
really like this act. This and the Magician Girl they're the only two for sure that I say should have went through. I loved this. I was so into this because I love danger acts anyway. If you're going to make me watch you do a Rubik's Cube, I don't want to see you sing during it. I don't want to see you cook food. If you're going to set yourself on fire, I'm there. I'm there for it. Especially if I was there live, this would have been exhilarating. Yeah. Watching somebody do a Rubik's Cube while they're on fire. So, yeah, I would have put this guy through. One of only two people this show that I would have, in my opinion, were entertaining enough to go through.
Something that I thought was interesting about this when I was trying to find him on social media is he was also on Britain's Got Talent this year.
Oh.
So it must have been impressive enough there that they said, hey, let's put you on this season here. So
I wonder
usually there's a year or two in between, but
I wonder how he did on there.
I didn't go and see, or I didn't look at that. I just know that he was on.
I wonder if he advanced at all or if he just tried out.
I don't remember. I can look it up.
All right. So overall, yeah, I think 6 out of 10 was fair for this show.
Yeah, we have a few possible acts that are, have some really good potential here.
Yeah, we had some that had some potential. Way too many went through for me. I think I would have been happier with this episode if some of these people wouldn't have gone through. I thought too many of them were weak. So we've heard multiple times now from people that they have 200 tryout. Because Trig said this, as well as wait a minute, what I already forgot. How do we say that?
Possibilities or
Poose.
Poose. Possible.
Posse. Not posse. Poose, I think.
Well, I thought he made it 2 syllables.
Poose? Did he? Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, we already forgot.
Oh, he's not listening where we already.
Yeah, hopefully you stopped listening. I forgot how to pronounce that. But anyway, we can say Benjamin. That's easy.
Yeah, that's easy.
Because he said 200, and somebody else we talked to said that there was 200 also. So 200 seems to be the number. I wonder how many yeses they give.
100.
Yeah, I'm guessing probably 100 because how many do they go on to the voting round?
They 36 go on to the next.
Yeah, it's post because it's per post. I'm looking at Teresa's comment on YouTube there. Per post. It's post.
Okay, good job.
Yeah,
thanks, Teresa.
Thank you. Because I'm trying to think. What do they have? 4 live shows, and I think they have 12 each in them.
Yep.
So that's 2, 4, 6. Yeah, they probably put 50 through, I'm guessing. 48. Yeah, so they probably put 100, they probably give 100 yeses, and then from those 50 that we vote on, and then from there we have the final whatever.
I think last season they had mentioned that they put through 130-ish, and so they were like, man, we put too many people through, and so they had a whole bunch of people to cut.
Yeah.
So
it'll be interesting to see which ones of these get through, because especially some of these ones tonight that went through, I'm like, I can't imagine they're going to go to the live shows. But then again, I mean, we had that golden buzzer that I wouldn't even have put through. So
right.
What do I know?
Now, something that I'm seeing as a common thread here is people who seem to be on this show, they have been invited to be on. They didn't try out.
Yeah, I'd love to see what percentage of people who get through the judges that's in this 200. What percentage of these people like waited in a line?
Yeah.
To try out. I'd really like to see that. I'd love to have somebody on the show that said they waited in a line.
Who was it last week where Trig had mentioned that a lot of the auditions are videos now?
Yeah.
Mozingo? Is that the name of the place? Just a minute here. I got to remember where I went last year. Mozingo. California. Well, any case, it was last year I went to the live audition, the only one that was last year. Or it was actually this year for this season. So I went in January, February. And maybe they don't want me saying this on our podcast, but I'll go ahead and tell you what it was like.
Yeah. We have a controversial podcast. We say a lot of things we shouldn't say.
That's right. So in years past, when I went to live auditions, they would have like 1,000 people and at that audition. And I was talking to one of the workers, and they said at each location, they usually do about 1,000 auditions a day. Okay. So I went to the only live audition, might have been the end of January. And I got there a little bit early, and supposedly they were only letting the people in who pre-registered, so they weren't letting walk-ins come in. You had to pre-register, and those are the only people they're letting in. Well, in any case, I got there, and there was like 15 people in line. And I thought, well, if they're pre-registering, I guess maybe that's normal. So I went through the line, and we went into the waiting room, and they said, with COVID, everything's changed and blah, blah, blah. Okay, well, fine. So after I was done auditioning, we went out into the same foyer where the line is supposed to be, and there was nobody waiting. So I'm wondering if they're having a problem with live auditions or what. And maybe that's why they're going after all these other acts.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird to me. It wasn't as big of a deal. And I'll even tell this. In years past, they had a sticker, an AGT sticker that they gave everybody with your number on it. And at this audition, they had a roll of raffle tickets. That was your number. I think there was Staples was the brand on them. So they just went to a office supply store and bought a roll of raffle tickets.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think it's just about time to wrap up here.
Yeah.
Do we have anything set up for next week?
Not yet. Hopefully we can get Steve Goodtime next week. I did put out a message to him. And if he's doing a gig, he probably can't answer right now. So,
all right. So to everybody watching, we always want to thank everybody for watching and supporting us. If you ever feel so inclined, share our show. Let people know if you know AGT fans in your life. Follow the Miles Revolution channels wherever you can find them. You can follow at Miles Revolution on Twitter. You can find them on Instagram. You can find them on YouTube, which is where most people are going to subscribe. You can find them on Facebook. You can find them on Twitch. And also, if you're on Facebook, you can find our new Two Freaks Doing a Show AGT discussion page. If you like specifically AGT stuff and you don't want everything else, you can join us there and have AGT talk. And tell your friends about us. Be sure to like this video wherever you're watching it. That always helps us a little bit out with the algorithm. And so, yeah, we just really appreciate everybody. We know we'll probably never be famous from this, but we enjoy just as fans putting ourselves out there and talking about this show. So even if there's just a few of you that are watching this, if you enjoy, just let us know. Just by liking or subscribing or whatever you want to do. It helps us out. We appreciate it.
Thanks a million for all your views.
All right, everybody. And until next time, I'm Mixlam, and he's the Miles Revolution. We are Two Freaks Doing a Show, and we will see you
later.